Welcome back to the Leading Yourself podcast and our series on our roadmap to accountability. We are diving into the art and science of accountability, uncovering strategies, insights, and practical tips that will supercharge your success in every area of your life. So, what are we doing here? Well, we're exploring everything from rewriting your goals each morning to harnessing the power of accountability partners, habit tracking, and much more. Get ready to revolutionize your approach to success. If you're ready to transform your aspirations into tangible achievements, hit the subscribe button, join our community. Let's embark in this journey together. We are continuing our roadmap to accountability, and today we're exploring our next step in that roadmap. So let's get started. Welcome to the Leading Yourself podcast. This is your host, Carolina de Arriba. I'm an HR professional, health and fitness coach, wife, mom, and above all things, a goal-getter. In this podcast, we're going to be digging into all things leadership, professional and career development, habits, and relationships. This is a podcast for those who want to become the best version of themselves. Those who have big dreams and are willing to embrace the journey and put in the work to achieve them. My goal is to share with you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you in your journey. So let's dig into today's episode. We are on stop number 3 on our roadmap to accountability. And today we're putting our focus on a game-changing strategy, time blocking, and staying on course. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there aren't enough hours in the day? I certainly have felt that way. But I like to remind myself that the day has 24 hours and we can't change that. We all have the same 24 hours. And when I think about a strategy that can help us maximize how we utilize those hours to help us stay accountable and make progress on our goals, that is time blocking. Time blocking is here to rescue your day if you're feeling like the day doesn't have enough hours to make progress on your goals. Time blocking, it's a strategy where you allocate a specific chunks of time to different tasks. That way you ensure that each one of them gets its fair share of attention. Time blocking, what it does is that it forces you to prioritize. By assigning dedicated time to your most important task, you're essentially telling your brain, this is crucial. Let's get it done. The magic of time blocking isn't just in scheduling. It's in reorganizing and recognizing when you get off track, off course. See, we live in a world full of distractions, and distractions are sneaky. But with a clear schedule, you can spot them a mile away. That is the power of time blocking. As I said in previous episodes, consistency is the secret sauce for success. So, time blocking helps you build habits by repeating positive actions regularly. It transforms a sporadic effort into a well orchestrated symphony of productivity. How does it work? Well, I'll tell you how I use time blocking. I know there's different ways that you can use time blocking, but I want to share with you a couple of tips that have worked really well for me. So, the first thing is every week when I'm planning my week, typically on Sundays, sometimes on Monday mornings, I look at my calendar and I block chunks of time that I call get things done. And that is the first step, just blocking the time. But in the past, I would do that and then I would never respect that time block. Typically, anytime that another meeting would come in, I would be completely flexible on those blocks of time. And I realized that the reason why I was not respecting those blocks of time to really do what they're meant to do, which is moving the needle on the things that are most important, is because I didn't had a plan on how I was intending to use that time. So when I'm doing my weekly planning, I look at all the things that I need to do. I ask myself a couple of questions like, what can I do this week that would put me a step closer to my goal? What is one thing I can do this week? And I make my list of the tasks that are needle mover tasks that are really going to have an impact in helping me make progress towards my goals. It doesn't matter how small that progress is. Progress is progress at the end of the day. And then I allocate or I link those tasks to my blocks of time. So if I'm blocking an hour on Monday, now I know exactly what am I going to do in that hour. And because I know that by achieving those things, that is spending time in getting those things done, I am moving a step closer to my goals. Now I'm motivated and committed to protect that time. Now that I have a plan on how I'm going to use that time, I'm more eager to protect that time and not give it away for someone else's priorities. Because that's what you're doing when you're being flexible with those blocks of time. Anytime a meeting comes up and there's no other time available. Well, now you have a plan. Now you know how powerful that time is and the impact it can have in taking a step closer to achieving your priorities. So, that is my tip on how I use time block. I've been using it for years, but it wasn't until I plan ahead how I was going to use those blocks of time that really this strategy started to pay dividends, to help me stay accountable and to make progress towards my goals. At the end of the day, review how well you stuck to your time blocks. Did you follow the plan or did you take an unexpected detour? The self awareness is your ticket for improvement. So, if today you are already blocking time, but you're not sticking to your time, that is okay. Now you're aware and you can do something about it. Here's the thing, life is unpredictable. Time blocking teaches you to adapt. If a task takes longer than expected, or if there's a surprise that pops up, you can always adjust your schedule accordingly. It's about staying agile, but thinking ahead and having a plan and being intentional on how you're using and leveraging those blocks of time. So there you have it, the power of time blocking to keep you on your path to accountability. Stay tuned for our next checkpoint tomorrow. And in the meantime, I want you to embrace the beauty of a well structured day. So I want you to go ahead and block an hour of time in your calendar this week to start moving the needle towards your priorities. And not just block the time, but make a plan on what are you going to do during that time. I'll see you tomorrow for step 4 in our roadmap to accountability.